In my opinion, a leader is responsible not for the results, is really responsible for the people who are responsible for the results.
And over the last recent decade, the transition has been to see him evolve, and I think he was the first guy who took up the initiative to be based in US.
How do you stay ahead of changes in business? And also, can you share how do you spot trends early and use those to guide your company in the right direction?
All right. So, one, how do I spot specific challenges, and how do we ensure what you're trying to say is how do we encounter this way ahead of it and trying to find a right solution? Go ahead of the curve, right? So you don't land up being a prey to falling flat after the challenge hits you. So be more proactive, understand. It is very simple. As much it might sound complicated, execution might be a little complicated one. It is very simple because the moment you always have an USP, one with the way that you're operating within your system, and you have an USP the way you're operating with the external world, which is your clients, you already are ahead of the curve because you're thinking something which others are not thinking, and you're operating from an operations point of view within your people. So, which means that you're creating a much more conducive, safer, and a growth-driven environment for your people. It is, see, every single champion or an employee here, when he comes in here, he has a dream, he has a vision, he has something that he wants to accomplish. It is just about ensuring what that is. And once we are able to understand what that is, we just need to enable it. And how do you do it in a most unique way makes an impact. From a client, the market is changing. The dynamics are changing. If we were to be doing the same thing over and over again, it's not going to make sense. Recently, to give you an example, there's a lot of AI buzz, right? The whole point of AI is just a buzzword these days being used. As much as is it really done or not? Yes, the beauty is efficiency. It cuts down the time. So are we moving in that direction? Yes, from a digital marketing and a data intelligence solution that we provide, absolutely yes. The way we are trying to stay ahead is because at some point in time we know all that we're doing through the regular set of humans is going to get a little redundant, not because the resources are redundant. It is only because we know the market is changing. It's been a shift every 15-20 years. The market keeps changing. So we just need to make sure the job roles of people change appropriately, and tech also changes appropriately, which means the way we are already a little ahead of the curve is we've already found out how we could apply our automation in place. While one of our pilot teams, we've just got started within a small unit, and that pilot team is focusing on saying how we could ensure the pre-sales activities are automated, content is automated, content is very hyper personalized, and ensure how it is being disseminated to the end audience. Likewise, at the back end, we're also using a lot of this automation go into our historic data, which is about 20-25 years old, and and ensuring that it does a lot of ML. It is going into the system, understanding the way how we could operate, add that value eventually to the client. That is in progress. We are on pilot. We're commissioning because when it comes to a point like how this particular system has to understand our data, it's going to take a little while. But again, we are already ahead in that because there's no competition is actually doing it. Nobody has a repository like the way we do in the industry.
Definitely, we're excited to see the product online. And also, whoever subscribes or do a comment, definitely you can give a free sign up for them as well for the platform to explore more.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Because we definitely want to make sure the more you keep things to yourself is not going to make sense, right? We want to make sure a lot of people cash on it, leverage on it.
Since you highlighted in terms of this LM AI, right? Just what I understand the quickest way, like a lot of companies, a lot of buzzes going on, everyone has to use AI. Obviously, that is need of the hour in the business term, as an individual as well. Now, if you have to say the quickest way, what do you think the good and bad of AI? What one must think about using AI into the business line?
The good and bad about AI. Why would you ask me that question? What is bad about AI?
Obviously, like a lot of people adapt to the AI very the blind spot, right? Anything, everything they go and search in AI. So obviously, there's a good side is there, bad side is there.
See, in my opinion, for me also just pretty early in the AI space because we are all learning, we are all evolving, we are all making our mistakes, we are all ensuring that how we could ensure that it only creates a positive impact. So as much as I know, in today's gen, yes, it speeds up a lot of things. What we need immediately for a business, it helps us achieve that in a very short span of time. Having said that, has it anyway had a non-pleasant implication on human brain? Because it's not letting a brain think and work, because you're just getting everything over a shortcut. So that is the con that I see. Having said that, I would rather say, as long as you're in control of an AI, I think you're in a better situation to be in, which means that going more after, recently one of the gentlemen was beautifully trying to explain at a very fundamental way of what this AI is. He split it beautifully into machine learning, he split it into deep search. So in these two segments, one, he said the top one is all about facts, right? Numerics. 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. 2 plus 2 is never going to be 8. Likewise, but if I were to be, that is your machine learning, is data, facts, numerics, very clear crystal. But having said that, on a deep search, it is all about multiple information that is available online. So it could be true, it could be false. It is collation of a lot of information. Somebody would say there are about 50 states for US. Somewhere you will find there are 52 states for US. So it is gathering information. So there is zero consistency in the values or in the answers that you get. So hence, you want to also be wisely. That is where humans should come in place to see how you could, where you should and where you shouldn't. You should make that decisive call.
Correct.
Yes, and the marketing front, if it helps you in the content, it helps you in some kind of an imaging, helps you in the website, it is all to be leveraged on. Having said that, still, you want to make sure when it gets super customized, if you want to make sure application development, sure, it can write a lot of codes which can reduce time. But again, if you want to make sure it needs to be even more in-depth, customized, I think human intervention is absolutely a must. With that said, as much as I would say it is too much of cons, I would say there are a lot of pros to it. But as long as we are effectively using it and ensuring that we don't turn out to be duds and let that dominate us, which potentially is what people are talking about, I don't know. But I would say, as much as how we could have control over it, it will always help us.
According to you, in the leadership term, no, obviously you have to make tough choices, to run this operations business, right? Have you ever had to be kind and firm at the same time? How do you handle those things?
I'll probably give you an example of a situation of an employee or a resource that's working with us. So we're dealing with people. As much as we have a lot of metrics we can talk about, you did good, bad, ugly, and keep throwing numbers and ensuring there is a lot of analysis paralysis. The question is, does it meet the objective of what you're trying to achieve? If it doesn't, you might as well back off. There is absolutely zero sense in going that route. But you need data to measure for progress. Absolutely. And for that, you want to make sure if you're working with a resource, and obviously I have to be, as much as I have to be kind, I rather be clear about articulating what my expectations are from that particular individual, because that expectation that I have from him is contributing to the larger goal. Like I said, I rather have the individual at question give me a roadmap of how he would achieve the goal that is being set. And if there is a need, I'll obviously be there as a mentor, tweak it to ensure that it is aligned with the larger goal. So then I'm going to definitely measure progress. While I'm measuring progress, if I see him going constantly off the track, it could be from the efforts he's putting in or the outcomes that he's deriving, then we would dig down more into being it is a skill set issue or as an attitudinal concern. So then we'll be able to define those very clearly, right? Once that clarity is there, then you obviously know for sure that you put him, if the mistake repeats, it is a concern. If there are new mistakes committed, it is okay. If the mistake repeats, then comes in, obviously we got to get to a point of saying, all right, it's time for a performance improvement plan. because that's where the whole concept of kind of firm takes a different route. It's about saying how next I can ensure get you into a best of your ability, which means either if it could add a subtle pressure to the individual, or if it can actually be a very educative one-on-one beautiful moment that we could invest extra on this individual to bring out the best. After a defined period of time, if the outcomes are being very consistent with the efforts that is not being optimally exhibited, then it is a different. That time there are some firm decisions to be taken for the better of the individual, as simple as it.
Obviously, any organization, right, even as an individual, culture matters the most. Culture matters just as much as skills.
500% agree with you.
Yeah. So in that line, no, how do you make sure your team keeps the right values? Because you handle a different set of people, right? And especially when the companies keep growing.
All right, it's a very good question. Culture is a non-measurable component in a business environment. What is a culture? Company is built on some core values. It all needs to start when an employee onboards, he needs to understand what is this enterprise made of. What is this enterprise? What this enterprise believes in? Eventually, how would he become a bigger and a better individual by associating with us? It's not always about he being thankful for the fact that he is working with us. We better be thankful for the fact that he is a part of us, because he's adding so much of value and so much of contribution towards the larger good of the enterprise. So that is what we need to understand. It's always a two-way stream. I think somebody had questioned me, and I had also read, and I'm more than in sync with that belief. What do you think a leader is actually responsible for? Is he responsible for the results?
It's not responsible whether they're really happy in the workplace or they're really satisfied. Do they have any concern? It's not just talking about every time work. You should have a balance of both. You should see what is right, what is wrong, and also we need to guide them to lead a better path.
In my opinion, a leader is responsible not for the results, but a leader is really responsible for the people who are responsible for the results. Understand some of their needs, wants, concerns, and take care of it. I think they will thrive. A very high pressurized environment is a very short-term focus outcome that we could derive out of people. That is a culture which is a no-no in my books. In my books, a culture where I could create a very positive, thriving, happy environment. I know for sure there is high retention. I know for sure I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and I'm going to be pretty excited to come to my work, because I'm going to have fun in my personal life. I rather have fun in my work life because I'm predominantly spending time with my colleagues and my business environment. Because when we all go home, what we're going to do is spend a little time with family, and we're going to sleep and get up and just get done with it. So we're spending more time. If that time that our people, employees, champions, and we, all of us are spending mostly there, that better be a very thriving, happy environment. That is the damn culture that we should genuinely build in. That's the culture that I always believe in ensuring the folks that immediately work with me are actually thriving on. To summarize, that's the culture that I would always love to continue, create in any environment that I build in.
Right. Since we're talking about leadership right now, you've been working with our chairman from the beginning, when it was small size company, just with 3 or 5 employees, the 2 BHK room, when we started this business way back 1990 or 2000, right? From that time till now, because you're working with one leader from start till now, right? So here's a one quick video. He has something to say.
He has something to say about me. He's not the man who would.
No, that's the reason we kept as a surprise.
Alright.
So just have a look on it. Just share your thoughts.
So he never tells this to me directly, but pretty.
As I reflect back on the last 21 years with Gary, that Karthikeyan name got shrunk to Gary to make it easy for our BPO and IT and data operations at the time. This lean young individual got hired in from a telemarketing call center BPO background. It's been a long journey since. We've seen him evolve, seen him go through the journey, help strategize and clock up some of the organization's largest deals ever. There are not too many who have hit multi-million-dollar deals in the enterprise. kind of Gary started that momentum. Potentially align with one of the team members and then stage it up, be there in the back end and support. Also, having that big vision for existing accounts. The development force world over are always focused on the next new flashy thing, which is the next new account. But Gary's trade has always been with existing accounts. How do we manage? How do we service the heck out of them? How do we grow them so that they grow and we also grow with them? That journey actually helped us in the first decade of our organization. I think some of the large deals done, which kind of drove the organization's growth till 2015, have been predominantly anchored around the team with Gary did in the last prior decade. I remember in multiple floors, there would be a floor with 100 people that would be beaten by Gary's team, which was a small team of 10 people. And over the last recent decade, the transition has been to see him evolve and go through this journey of, I think he was the first guy who took up the initiative to be based in US, to go meet accounts. Then he also took up the initiative to be the central customer service and customer success-oriented teams leader. He's taken up initiatives like that without asking what's in it for me. I think that's a great quality and a trait of a leader. Definitely looking forward to seeing more leaders adapt some of these positive traits. This is a great champion trait, actually a super champion trait that we all should adapt and learn.
All right.
Yes.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
So what do you think about this particular video?
Very happy for only one single reason. When your work has been acknowledged, there is no bigger and a better satisfaction than that. I'm definitely grateful. I can see that he's meant what he's saying because I know him, I know his vibes, I know his body language. I know when he says it on the surface, he's a smart man. And I also know when he really goes 2-3 layers down and he actually makes some statements. And it is felt. I'm thankful for that.
Great.
Very happy about it.
Great.
Yeah.
How do you take care of your mental well-being as a leader?
Me time, period. There is nothing more than me time. I ensure I have time only for myself, 1 hour every single day. Not with my wife, not with my pets, not with anybody. It's a discipline that I maintain. I could go for a jog that time. I could go for a walk that time. I could listen to some podcasts. I could listen to some music, or I could meditate. I could do anything in that time. I'm a little inconsistent in terms of what activity I do in that 1 hour of me time, but I ensure it happens every single day.
Great.
And that gives me a lot of, that keeps my mental health strong. And travel is a beautiful therapy for me. I always love meeting strangers. I love meeting at travel. And it opens up your mental horizon. So that kind of brings in a lot of positive energy for me.
So yeah, like 10 rapid fire questions I have. I need quick answer. Right? So first one, coffee or tea?
Any day caffeine, coffee.
Early bird or night owl?
I love to being an early bird.
But you're
Unfortunately,
doing
I get the benefit of doing it just once a week.
The book that changed your life.
Yeah, definitely I'll say I'll go back to this leadership without title.
One habit you swear by.
Integrity,
Your go-to productivity hack.
I think communication.
A leader you look up to.
Yeah, there is one guy, not in any of the books, but again, I'm not sure how many of you guys would know. He's a mentor, and I worked with him for some time. Michael Leander, and I found him being super professional, super high in integrity, very strategic, and he always sees the bigger picture, and he believes in a process. So I would definitely say I look up to him for sure. He's one of those guys.
One piece of bad advice people should ignore.
Stop unnecessarily listening to anything and everything.
Yes, please do that one. What's a guilty pleasure, TV show or movie?
Movie.
If you weren't in this career, what would you be doing?
Any day armed forces.
One word your friends would use to describe you.
One word.
Okay, we'll give extension one more, but I don't do.
How my friends describe me, super, they would probably call me one guy who could be a center point of connect to connect everybody. For example, it could be my college. I'm networked with quite a good bunch of folks. If it's my class, I'm definitely connected so well that I could connect all the 60 folks. I could bring them together. So I think networking is my skill, and I think they always believe I'm a highly resourceful person to bring people together.
All right. So with that said, we have come end of this podcast. Again, we'd like to call you one more podcast session because
Sure.
you already mentioned like we are coming with a new product launch. We are excited to see how the product goes, and also as we discussed over the podcast, right, we're gonna give a couple of free signer for the end users.
Yeah.
And once the product is out, we definitely want to host you one-on-one show and talk
100%.
more about this particular product, right? So with that said, we are coming end of this podcast and look forward to talk one more round. Before we wind up, like, where do if at all they want to connect with you or engage with you, where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm easily reachable on my LinkedIn, Karthikeyan L. So we can probably put in the link there. I'll put in the link.
So you know where to find Mr. Karthikeyan L, right? Thanks a lot.
Hey, it's
Yeah,
been
I
very
look forward to talk to you again. One more set of session. It was great pleasure to meet again. Finally, we got time to sit and talk about and get this started. So definitely, we're gonna have one more session, maybe a month or two. Right? Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Arvind.
Thank you, guys. If you're not
Cheers.
subscribed, please subscribe, like, follow, and share.